Anyone remember how in 2017 Nintendo released the SNES Classic? Pretty solid little device, 21 different games, and a very good emulator system. Not much purpose to buying one today, since that emulator is now available for any Nintendo Online users, but hey, the Classic has more third-party titles, so that's positive. But there's no Spanky's Quest, so is it even worth existing?
So, how do we make a bigger game than Super Mario Land? I suppose we could move up to a country or a continent, but you know what, let's just go forward with a full world. Super Mario World released as a launch title and pack-in for the Super NES in 1990 over in Japan, 1991 in North America, and 1992 in Europe and Australia. It being a pack-in probably contributes to it being the best-selling game for the system, selling almost twice as much as the second bestseller, and that commercial success has translated to critical acclaim, with review scores in the 9s and 10s, and fans regarding it as one of the best Mario games ever made. Now, given Mario 3 was arguably even more acclaimed, and some still arguing that game was the better of the two, and I thought it was just okay, what does that say about my opinion on this game?
Holy shit, I love this game!
So, for the first time in the series, we actually get a bit of story right after starting the game. Yes, if Mario Bros. 3 was the first to introduce continuous plot points throughout, then Super Mario World is the first to use it smoothly. We get a brief text box to set up the plot, another after freeing Yoshi for the first time, and then a short spiel after beating each boss. It's still not a complex plot, of course. The basic summary is Bowser kidnapped a princess and trapped a bunch of friendly dinosaurs. Go stop him. But hey, there's a decent amount of charm to the story, especially with the final boss. My lord, they really went out of their way to make this fight as atmospheric as possible. No HUD outside of any reserve items, completely black background, dark and intimidating music, the princess screaming for help. It all adds up to the first Bowser fight to feel properly climactic.
Though to be fair, part of that is down to Bowser's sprites in this game. My lord. The man looks like he came to Dinosaur Island so he could inject himself with T-Rex DNA.
Well, that unfortunate design aside, the game looks phenomenal. They really took advantage of the Super Nintendo's graphical capabilities. This is one of the most colorful Mario games I think I've ever seen. Obviously, it's not the most advanced Mario game ever made, since with one exception, every game after this used full 3D models. But honestly, I think a lot of those don't look as good as Super Mario World. Like, compare this with New Super Mario Bros., which almost definitely used more powerful graphics tech, but frankly, I'd rather see more graphics like this game. I guess that's probably why so many indie games use a 16-bit style.
I can't make the exact same comparison with the music. Like, I don't think that later music is necessarily worse, but I still think what this game does with its music is great. I especially love the drums added to the sound when you're riding on Yoshi. I don't know, it's just a small bit of dynamic sound, but I like it. I don't know, it's Koji Kondo. Obviously, it's a bop. Can I just say, like, I never know what to say about these games' music. Like, it's the one aspect of them that I'm even mildly qualified to talk about. But God, I just have nothing to say. It doesn't help that my attention span is so shitty most of the time. I can't just be playing a video game. I'm watching a video, I'm listening to other music, so usually I'm not actually listening to the game's music in real time. Like, I played so much Zelda, and all I can really say is that, oh, it's cool how the title theme from Link to the Past plays when Tetra gets her Triforce piece. Oh, have you noticed how the stable theme in Breath of the Wild is a counter melody to a Coda song? And like, anyone who didn't already know that has no clue what I'm even talking about? I don't know, I just feel like I have to have some comment to make about the music for all these games, but like, I really don't, man. It's just music and it sounds good most of the time, and that's all I've got!
Dude, just calm down.
No, you calm down!
Now then, let's talk about the gameplay. It's Mario, but now with spinning. Obviously, with a lot of games in the series, there's not much point in rehashing any points about the core gameplay loop. If you've played one 2D Mario game, you've played them all. There are a few unique things this game adds though. For example, since we now have 2 more face buttons, we get a brand new ability we can use. The spin jump, which acts as a more effective jump for enemies and lets you destroy some blocks from above. Yes, for some reason in this game, just jumping on most enemies doesn't kill them. The Goombas here just sort of pop onto their heads. Oh wait, sorry, they're called Galoombas nowadays. My bad. You also can't technically break blocks from below. Instead, they just start spinning for a while before going back to normal. You can only break them with a spin jump from above, which works fine. It means you can go through them at any level of Mario at least, but it is kind of odd. Also, like Mario 1, no matter what power-ups you have, if you get hit, you go back down to small Mario. That's kind of dumb. You can now have power-ups in reserve at least, though new power-ups always override whatever you have in reserve, even simple mushrooms. And when you get hurt, the reserve item automatically gets used, even if you're intentionally getting hurt to get through a smaller hole. I mean, it's not unmanageable, it works fine enough, it's just kinda dumb.
Wait, didn't I say I like this game?
So none of the brand new power-ups from Mario 3 return. Instead, we have a set of even newer power-ups. I mean, it's not a huge loss. I'd have liked to see better uses for the frog suit and the hammer suit, same for the Tanuki suit, but I mean, we have a pretty smooth replacement for the raccoon leaf and the cape feather. Same deal as that one, hit the button once to do a spin attack, hold it to get a run going, and start flying. However, now, instead of just going up as far as possible and just running out of juice, once you reach height, you can start manipulating your flight to bounce up and down. If you're good enough at the rhythm, you can even get effectively infinite height, since you can actually bump yourself higher with the bounces. It's a really cool power-up, maybe one of my favorite in the Flying Mario abilities. We also have two more unique power-ups in the form of the P-Balloon and Yoshi, a rideable mount who makes his debut in this game. Interestingly, both of these effectively act independently of the standard power-up structure in the game. If you have a Fire Flower or a Cape Feather going into the P-Balloon, you'll still have it once that runs out. Same with Yoshi, though since he's less of a direct power-up and more of a rideable mount, that makes sense. The P-Balloon is fine, I definitely prefer its Mario Maker 2 incarnation to how it works here, but it does what it was designed to do well enough, just not the most exciting thing in the world.
Like any power-up ever is?
Yoshi, meanwhile, is maybe one of the coolest ideas they could have added. He can eat stuff, he has extra powerful stomps, if he eats certain shells he can spit fire or fly or make the ground shake, and if you get hit he runs away but you can get him back. It's so fun, Yoshi's the best, I love this little dino. Now, Yoshi can go between levels in this game, which is cool, though he can't enter the ghost houses or the fortresses, which is kind of lame, but he does wait outside, so you get back on him once you beat those. The P-Balloon is more limited, you only have it for like 20 seconds, but you can freely float during that time. It's definitely built to be used in specific cases to let you access secrets or in one of the bonus levels float over big gaps without a run-up. These are both pretty cool, and they contribute to one of Super Mario World's biggest strengths, the absolutely genius level design.
Yes, while Mario Bros. 3 introduced less linear levels to the series, Mario World introduced levels with actual reasons to be non-linear. The whole game is built as one large, interconnected map. There are still distinct worlds and screens with levels, but it's not too hard to stitch them together into one large thing. There are about 73 levels in the game, and a slot of 24 have additional secret exits, which can be accessed with specific steps, which adds up to a lot of reflex if you're going for 100% completion. Luckily, the game signals most levels with multiple exits by making the level right on the map, though ghost houses just assume they have multiple exits, because they all do.
I think pretty much all of these levels are a ton of fun. The first world, Yoshi's Island, is a very simple area to get you accustomed to how the game plays, but it's a good example of how much fun they pack into these levels. There's so many new ideas, like the ramp blocks that let you run on the wall, or the snake platforms, or the tutorial blocks that tell you how certain mechanics work. The enemies are so unique for the time. There's Wriggler, Magic Koopa, and Charging Chuck who went on to be mainstays, eventually, plus the dinosaurs Rex and Dino Rhino, the return of Pokey and Ninja from Mario 2, even freaking Super Cape wearing Koopas. The Koopaling boss fights, while still reusing some ideas, have a ton more variety among them, from sumo-like lava battles or dummy pipe distractions. You can throw enemies straight up and activate blocks too high for you to jump to. You can find switch palaces that let you turn on previously empty blocks. You can change paths to pulley lifts, and it's all so damn good!
Holy shit, I love this game. This is easily my favorite of the classic 5 Mario games, and I can see why Nintendo didn't make many new 2D Marios after this. Like, seriously, after this, it's Mario Land 2 for Game Boy, and then we don't have a new 2D Mario until 2006. And I can see why. This game is absolutely amazing. It's fun, engaging, and you can play it for hours upon hours. I love this game so much. But it isn't Spanky's Quest. Fucking worthless.